Hello guys, today I would like to show you my new little toy, and this is a USB mini soldering iron. That's the model, as you can see. That's how it looks like, the part of the tip. Very small, very tiny. As you can see, I do not have any package, and that's because I already see a lot of review of this soldering iron on the YouTube, so I didn't think I will go a post video on this one, but it have one big difference between all I already saw, and that's the difference. So on the most, you've got a capacitive touch sensor over here, so it's detecting when you're holding it like that and turning it on. On this one you've got just a switch, tactile switch inside, and you can turn it on and off. So in my opinion that's a better one option, because you can just leave it alone and it will still heat up. On the other model you have to constantly tapping on this. If you left it alone about 10 seconds and it will shut down, so you grab it and you have to wait until it heat up again. So let's do a simple test. I'm going to hook this up to my phone, which have a power bank function. So we are going to hook this up. Okay, and just switching on, and we've got about 1 amp. And you have to trust me that I already checked it, of course, on the wall charger on the Aoki, and even if here was about 5.1 volt, it was still drawing about 1 amp. So maybe there is inside a circuitry for a current driving. So will it heat up a solder? Yes, of course. It melting because I already tested on site, and that's what make me find that interesting. So you can just on and off. Okay, so we are going to do a little test. Okay, so our first test, we're going to check what kind of temp are we getting. I'm going to leave this heating up. I'm going to replace a sensor to make sure that we are okay. I believe inside there is absolutely no temp controlling circuitry, so I think it will have very high temp right now, but as soon as you're going to touch something that will take the heat, we're going to see a lower value. Okay. I'm going to wait a couple of seconds to let it heat up again, and we are going to see what kind of temp do we have. (400°C). We are going to let it heat up for a couple seconds more, because as I told you, right now it's taking heat into that part. Okay, 430°C, so it's quite hot. Okay, so I do have a couple of wires over here, so we could test it. So first one will be a jumper wire, just regular jumper wire. We are going to test it. Okay, so we've got okay. Okay, so this one is okay. Not a beautiful solder job, but please forgive me because I'm trying to look at the camera. So we've got something larger. This one, this wire. So let's try. First, can we tin this? Let's see. Can we tin this wire? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to show you right now how beautiful is this. It's very beautiful. Let's okay, we are going to take the other part of this wire. Okay, so we also got a beautiful tin on this end. Let's focus. And we are going to try to solder them together. Let's see. Can we? Yes, of course we can. On the back side we do not have a good contact. On the front side, yes. On the back, okay. So let's see. I believe this is 1.5 millimeter. That's what I think it is. The standard. No, it's okay. I'm pulling the sleeve off, but this is a good joint. Not beautiful, but it will do the job. Okay, I've got another wire. I believe this one is smaller diameter. You can just check. Can we tin this? If we can tin this, very good. No problem. No problem. But I'm not going to solder this because that's a smaller diameter from that one, so it must work. Let's try this one. This looks larger. Let's check if we can tin this up. and let's see. I definitely start having a trouble on that wire. It did the job, but it was not a perfect soaking, so the temp was not enough. But let's try to another time. Let's add some flux. And let's try again. Okay, so it did the job, but it's not a perfect, it's not soaking great. Let's try soldering them together. So as you can see, we have a problem because it doesn't want to melt the solder on that two wire. It looks like it's too much. Okay, sorry, I had a phone. So as you can clearly see, we are unable to solder that two wires together. I've got our measurement tool. We can try to check what size of this wire is, but it's hard to tell because it's a twisted wire and I do not have a proper tool for that job, but it looks like 1.5. So that would be a 1mm wire. So 1mm wire is okay. 1.5mm, two of them, they do not. I'm going to try to go again. I just left this heating up. As you can see, it's did little bit, but right now it took all the heat from the tip, and I would not call this a proper job. It's thick, but that's definitely not a proper job. That's not how it should looks like. Okay, so we've got our last thing, which is open this device and see what's inside. So our tip. And there is some kind of color, rubberize. Okay. There's something. It looks like it has glue. Now we've got a ball. That's how our ball looks like. So we've got some, I see, some transistors. Some resistors, some transistors, some capacitors. We do not have any heating control. There is only 2 wire onto the heating element. So the 2 transistors probably just switching that. Maybe that's some kind of a MOSFET. We've got our standard 3.5mm jack, so that's how it looks like inside. Not much as would we expect. So our ball here, next over here. Okay, so let's try to okay, we clicked and we're good to go. Our screw, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and okay. Our color. Okay, our tip. And the most important part, which is checking, does it work again? Okay, so hook up, turn on, we've got our red LED, and check how soon we could melt or solder. Yes, it's working. So that's how it looks like. Then we can turn off and on. Very nice. Okay, so what's the conclusion? The conclusion is it could be a great tool for a very small job, for a very small wire, like the jumper wires, or maybe like that wire. Not for bigger jobs, which I believe it's quite understandable because it's have a very small power. But in my opinion, it's a good tool. It's a good tool as long as you buy the one with a clicking button, not with the touch one. So you can leave it alone, wait for heat up, grab, do what you have to do, left alone, wait for heat up, do another job. That's my review. I think it's okay if you understand the limitation of that tool, which you should already know. So thank you for watching and bye bye.